Time for us to spend 10 quality minutes with the manager of your Houston Astros. Astros in Game 2 of their series with the Rangers tonight. Going to hopefully snap a 3-game losing streak. Joe Espada with us here on the show. Skip, first of all, good afternoon. Second of all, if you're a day drinker, if you want to have a gin and tonic while we talk, we have zero problem with that.
No gin and tonic for me in the morning. No. Thank you for having me, guys.
Hey, if you want to just scream and yell for a minute and a half, we'll let you do it. We have zero issue with that because we're all frustrated. You're frustrated. Take us through what has been about a 2-week malaise offensively. What's, in a nutshell, what's going on?
Yeah, you know what? You're not going to hear me scream for a minute and a half. I don't think it's not a necessity right now. You know, we're just going through a little bit of funk for the last 3 games, and something that we'll snap out of it. We're getting the traffic on the bases. We just haven't been able to get that big hit to kind of open a game up or give us the runs that are needed for us to win the games. But a little bit of funk, and we'll get over this. We'll get over it.
How much of this is dog days of August? And how much of this is, you know what, we worked our asses off to get 10 down to be in first place, and that it's just natural over a long course of the year that we just can't have the foot on the pedal every single day. I mean, look, everybody wants to win. We understand it. But there's a difference in getting out there and doing it and then being pressed into being back as many games as you were and having all the success that got you to where you were, as of about a week ago.
Yeah, it's a combination of both. We played 110, 111 games. Fatigue sets in, both mentally and physically. And, we played really hard to put ourselves in this position. We a game and a half from first place, and we understand what it takes and what it's going to take for us to win this division. So, it's a little bit of fatiguing, and there's no denying it. But it's part of where we at, and we have to fight this through. You're not going to see our team make excuses. We know that if we want this, it's in our hands. It is for us to take, and we have to fight and grind through it. There's no other way around it.
You have 3 infielders that have played a tremendous amount of baseball. I'm sure it takes an act of Congress to get them off the field. Will you make it a point, at least maybe in the next couple weeks, to try to give Altuve, Pena, Bregman an off day and or a DH day? I don't know if that's making it much of a factor with those 3 guys, but something to consider with down to 50 games left to go in the year.
Sure. No, sure. They're all going to need, we've been very fortunate that, every Thursday, the last 3 weeks, we'd be getting an off day, which helps. But once we go into the next stretch of games, I think we play 18, 19 in a row. I think all those guys will be needing an off day, no doubt.
Astros Manager Joe Espada with us here on Sports Talk 790. And let's go to the pitching side and some good news. You have been getting some good starts from the guys, including starting with Kikuchi on Friday and then all the way up to Hunter Brown yesterday. So do you feel like you're just that much closer if you can get the hitting going, that the pitching is turned for you guys? Yes,
100%. The quality of pitching especially from our starting has been tremendous. Spencer, Hunter Brown, Framber, this Kikuchi start, it's been phenomenal, and we need that. And if we can continue to give our teams an opportunity to keep us in games, to win games, our offense will turn it around. There's no doubt about it. Proven hitters, guys who've been successful for many, many seasons. We'll turn the corner here, and we'll start hitting the ball. But everything starts on the mound, and our starters have been remarkable. So expect Valdez to go out there today and give us a good solid outing and get a win. We need tonight's game. It's a very important game.
What have you seen that you like from Pedro Leon so far, and what have you seen that he needs to improve?
You know what? I do like the athleticism, the explosiveness. He's already shown the tools in the outfield, his speed, his arm strength. The balls he has put in play, he's hit the ball really hard. He's still working on, there's some holes in his zone where teams can exploit, and he's going to have to just learn which pitches to go after, which pitches he needs to lay off, and that's come with experience. But so far, kind of like the energy he brings, the excitement that he brings to the ballpark every single day, and we'll continue to give him some opportunities here for him to develop into a good major league player.
Joe, your squad is 27th out of 30 in walks drawn. And look, Jose has been an aggressive first pitch hitter and always been that way. And I don't think you need to change who he is because he's going to have a Hall of Fame career when it's all said and done. But collectively as a group, and would your metrics say you're seeing a lot more strike ones, or would you like to see this team be a little more patient at the plate here, especially when the bats are not particularly hot?
You know what? In the past, we have been a little bit more patient early in the count. I think teams are coming after our hitters, especially because we are being more aggressive. I think sometimes swinging less can be helpful for an offense. And I think we have told our players, we have shown the matrix, and they're aware of it. It's just finding that common relaxation, being relaxed, being confident to hit behind the count, understanding that we are good hitters even when we behind the counts. Pitchers still got to execute the pitches to get us out when we behind the count. All those things we've done a good job in the past. The last couple of weeks, we kind of gone away from who we are as an offense. But it's just a matter of just bringing them back and show them that, hey, this is going to pass. There's no reason to press at the batter's box. They just we dictate our bats. Don't let the pitcher dictate our bat and the outcome of our bat. So it's work in progress. It's work in progress. And again, it's been 3 or 4 days where our offense kind of been out of whack a bit, but we'll get it going here.
Joe, you brought up Pedro Leon a few days ago, and he's getting a little bit of a sample size. I know that Dana on his weekly hit with Robert Ford on Sunday talked about maybe Zach DiCenzo and Shea Whitcomb being close. Any thought of bringing those guys up in the next handful of games on this road trip at some point, perhaps to maybe to spell a guy, or maybe to try something different in the outfield, or perhaps in the infield somewhere?
Yeah, you know what? With those names continue to come up. We continue to evaluate those players, and we are strongly considering bringing some of those guys up. I think they could provide a little spark to our offense. And but those names they come up all the time, and we are strongly considering them. Yes, we are.
So let me ask you this: when you get these kids in, and you've had quite a few AAA to major leagues, and look, there's obviously a difference in the quality of talent. What are some things you would go to them with and say, hey, I know there's been success in the PCL, but the difference between, it feels like to me, AAA to the major leagues is probably a little more pronounced than maybe it was 5 or 6 years ago.
No, you're right. For me, it's more execution. I think pitchers at the major league level, they can hit the spots consistently, and once they can exploit your weaknesses as a hitter, and they understand, they see holes in your swing or some of your tendencies as a hitter, they can hit the spot, and they can go there over and over again. And you as a hitter, as a young hitter, at times trying to show that you belong on the major league level can be overly aggressive and can get overly exposed. So we try to, identify those areas. This is where they're going to go. This is the area they're going to try to expose, and you need to do a good job of laying off certain pitches. And that's just part of the process. It's, but like you said, the difference between AAA and the big leagues is significant. And we keep that in mind when we bring hitters up, and we try to match them up against pitching that we know they can succeed and have an opportunity to cover some of those holes and match up well against. So we look at all those things when we give some of these young players an opportunity at the major league level.
Is it a fine line right now for you, Skip, and for Dana as well? I mean, you've got 2 kids that are doing very well, and you've got a squad right now that's struggling. Do you think, all right, are we bringing these guys up too quickly? Should we bring one of them up today, this series, next week, as compared to saying, all right, we've got some major leaguers that have got some service time, that have done this before, that have helped us out, but, man, we need a little firepower right now?
Yeah, and and also we just need to also some rest. Bringing some of these kids, if we decide to do that, can get some of our veterans a little blow. I also like those young kids that bring kind of a little energy to the clubhouse, something different. Players get excited getting to know and getting to hang out with some new teammates, and that changed things up a little bit. And that I personally like that. We've done that in the past. Something new to look forward to, and helps to change things up. But yeah, I think it helps. But when you do, you have to have a balanced approach, not to expose this guy and put in a position to succeed. We are in the middle of a pennant race, and you want these guys to feel comfortable. You want these kids, when they get here, to land on their feet, not to be overwhelmed by what's going on.
And speaking of feeling comfortable, how has Yusei Kikuchi been after his first start? And I'm curious, of course, when you get him in-house, you want to tweak a bit of the pitch mix, and we famously heard about that on Friday. But what about going into the next start? Maybe there's a little bit less of element surprise, and just getting him in there and getting him prepared for his next time out.
Yeah, so this lineup, it is a bit different than the Rays lineup. So there's some game planning that might be a bit different, but when it comes to stuff and repertoire, he's going to use all his pitches. You got to mix in against this Rangers lineup. After what I saw, his first outing, I expect him to go out there and have another strong performance. He's exciting to have around. He's got really good personality. He likes to talk. He likes to learn. He's getting to know his teammates. First impression has been phenomenal, both on the mound and also, his character and his makeup.
Well, Skip, we're going to sacrifice something. We're going to give something up until you guys get going offensively. So I'm going to probably give up a starch and probably improve my blood pressure, my cholesterol level, and all that kind of stuff. But I think you just collectively need one of these, because I know yesterday had to be very frustrating with all those bases loaded appearances and not getting a whole lot more than what you got. So I know you need that, and we wish you guys the very best here tonight.
All right, guys. Thank you very much.
You got it. That's Joe Espada with us here for a weekly visit on Sports Talk 790.